Hello, hello. How's it going, everybody? Turn down the music a little bit here. Welcome to another stream. Happy to another. I guess happy to have another stream every week, every Tuesday. Been keeping the streak going for a while. So today, I think it is time to bring back an app that I have been on and off giving attention, and has had a Tauri app since before we did alphas and betas, pre V1. I think I've done one or two upgrades, but it's still technically on the pre V1 beta naming schemes, I guess. I don't think too much has changed, but I thought it would be kind of fun to get back into and bring this app back to life by doing that upgrade. Go and see what has changed, do a little bit of an upgrade from pre V1 to, what are we on, 1.2 now? Wait, 1.2, 1.3? I'm starting to lose track here. I think that'll give us a little bit of a frame of reference as to what has changed. There isn't too much as far as like deep integrations go with this. It's more of just a wrapper around a web app. There's also a website that goes with it. And I would like to do more with that Tauri integration. Probably file system would be the big win there. But TBT. So today we're going to try to knock out a upgrade of the Tauri app, and we'll see how far we get and if it's worth going from there going anywhere from there. So let's pop on over. The app is called Finatter, and the idea behind it is to help you analyze cash flows, which sounds potentially intimidating. The idea of budgeting or thinking about your money is sort of inherently a historical thing. And I think what can happen is that people will plan or try to set up a budget, and they'll try to figure out all of their old transactions and do all this effort into tracking, but not actually gaining the value of like understanding your finances and using that information to actually make decisions that affect your future. Cash flow analysis, I think, flips it a little bit, and once you have a good idea about what you spend and about what you bring in, you can start to project. And there's a handful of ways I think you can do that type of projection. And this is definitely more common in like business finance. But I think the way that I've found to be most useful is the cash flow analysis, which predicts I'm bringing in a certain amount and a certain amount is going out. And if I extrapolate that, each of those on specific patterns, like you get paid, maybe twice a month or every 2 weeks, and then your rent or your mortgage is due every month. Those are sort of defined patterns, and you can extrapolate that out. Theoretically to eternity. Obviously, at some point, it starts to become less beneficial, and those numbers are likely to change. Inflation and what have you. But that's sort of the idea. It's definitely been a little bit since I looked at this too. But the idea here is this is effectively just income that we're looking at. You can see number goes up. if we start at effectively 0 and we go all the way up. I think I've got a couple other, yeah. So this would be a cash flow analysis. We get ins, outs, and transfers, and we can see basically our balances in our accounts. And the effective idea is that we don't want things to go below 0. That's the basis. You punch in the patterns of the ins and the outs, and you end up with this. I don't think there's too much in here. So the other piece of this is maintaining your data, and the first setup integration that I had was a JSON file, so it's all just saved back and forth in a JSON file. So this having this mechanism more automatic would be probably one of the benefits of having the app part of it. You could also theoretically sync it with some sort of backend or something, but this is something that I want to stay more in the open source I guess not really ecosystem, but I want this thing to be something that is beneficial to all and isn't necessarily gated by somebody having to spend money or worry about storing their data in a different country or whatnot. So I think privacy and ownership of your data is important, which is why we just focused on doing JSON first. I did play around a little bit with tax stuff too. I don't think we're gonna bother poking around that at all right now though. But so this is the app. There's probably things we can do to just general upgrades and whatnot. This is code. Here we go. This is new. Kind of like that. Like that. Yeah, it's been a little bit since we took a peek at this. I've been busy. That is for certain. I've been working on this off and on for quite a while though, and it's still something that I want to see realized in a bigger way. But you can see that we've got a Tauri app set up already. And it's been a little bit since we looked at it. So V1 beta. That is an upgrade. So this has been using Tauri for a while. And I think pretty sure I have it installed actually. Yeah. Here we go. Tauri app. So actually I have it installed on my system right now. So this would be doesn't have any Chrome or anything, so it is definitely still pre V1, because I think some of that happened towards the end. But let's open it up. Let's see what we can do as far as an upgrade goes. Take a look at the Tauri integration itself. Okay. Looks like I've got a couple changes sitting out there, ready to get going here. Tauri. So now, how do we go about upgrading that? That's the question. We could theoretically go in and change these dependencies. We also have some dependencies in the root here. We got some Rust analyzer running down there, so that is going to make the system chug a little bit here. But I think the best way to go about this is this didn't really exist back when I first set this up. Definitely not when I initially set it up. is using npm right now. But within this command, there is, I believe, an upgrade. It might just be in the cargo. Cargo, init, dev, build. You're updating dependencies. Okay, so you can run cargo upgrade. And I do have cargo edit installed, I believe. So I think what we do is that I think we do an npm outdated, which is definitely going to, let's bump this up a little bit here. Oh yeah, system be chugging. Look at that. Oh my. I've been looking at a computer upgrade. It is going, oh no. Oh no, stop editing. It's gonna be definitely well appreciated. No, missed the T. I think this is probably going to be the place where I definitely feel it the most. Anytime I'm doing Rust, that Rust compile is, especially while I'm streaming, I'm both streaming and compiling on the same computer. Alright. We're still pulling in microstates. It's been a while since I looked at that. Can I do like dash latest? What's this? Oh, do I need to do it? PMI. React DOM 17. D3 is the latest, really? I guess there's not too much that needs to be updated. There's a YNAB integration, but that for the most part is just to allow somebody to pull in information easily. At a baseline, you need to know what the current like dollar amounts are in your accounts, and the extrapolation can start from there. So having to update every one of your accounts can be quite a bother, and if you're already doing that in a different app, it's nice to just pull it over. Unsupported engine with YNAB, interesting. Yeah, and some of the stuff I might end up, I think we're gonna end up having to switch to something like XState. Well, maybe, I don't know. That's a TBD. So microstates is a state library that the front side of which I'm currently employed by has been working on for some time, but we've definitely got other things on our plate which we're spending more of our focus cycles on, and there's some async library type stuff that I think would be more beneficial to pull in. The overlay that handles this or the like, it's not state management per se, but it's a messaging effect handling library, and that does the events for the chat, takes it in from YouTube, and allows us to dump it into this. And it also handles the drop. Are we done? Okay, so Rust Analyzer is definitely done, which is good. Oh, there's a rebuild proc macros. What now? That's kind of nifty. No, NPM is taking this time. So I think it might be worth. Okay, well, it was 1.2. Maybe it's just that we're discussing 1.3. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll think about that. Most of the other stuff though doesn't seem like it either, like these things just aren't being maintained anymore, or like it's surprising that there isn't more updates. I guess we'll see once we finish this fetch. Oh my. Okay, so for the most part, this is going to be doing an npm outdated. There's a couple ways we can update it. While that's installing, I think I'm going to go in here and say, I'm just gonna edit these manually, is I can hover over each one of these versions with an extension that I have installed, and that's going to tell us what versions are the latest, and that's probably the fastest for my setup. 1.2, that makes sense because that's what we just looked at. Yeah, so like this is still using Reach UI. I don't even know if they're maintaining that anymore. I think some of that stuff that they've pulled into to other things. I don't see anything else that is Tauri related. So when this is done, we'll do another npm install. You know what? I'm just gonna. This is just taking really long. Volta pin npm at 9. Let's just update to the latest npm, and then we'll do an npm install again. This is going to update our package lock file because we've updated version, but also we've updated the Tauri things. I remember running into this. Let's see, what are we working with here? Are we on the latest everything? Okay, conflicting peer dependency. So this I'm gonna do a slight diversion. Oh, not diversion, distraction. I mean, we got to deal with this. It's not gonna let us install otherwise. I believe though that npm supports adjusting peer dependency versions. I think that is what we're going to do here. Overrides. Okay, so what we can say is we can say overrides. Let's do it up here. overrides. And we're going to say within so microstates is being depended on by microstates React. I am reasonably certain that this version of microstates React works with the existing microstates, or the most recent. So I think what we can do is this, and what this is going to do is microstates React dependency on microstates. We're setting it to version 15.1, which is what matches what we're also including in the root. So let's do an install again and see how it deals with this. Okay, so microstates React also has a dependency on React 16. So we resolved this situation, and now we're on to the other situation, which is the React dependencies. It looks like it's just, it doesn't say specifically anything about DOM. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. Right. Got another one. All right. React file reader input. And this, I don't think these overrides existed before. Actually, what version of it? Yeah, we were on npm version 8. Overrides showed up in version 8 something. Oh, overrides does not say. I think they said here 8.3. So we didn't have this option. We were sort of manually creating these this override situation, or we were trying to like make this adjustment. But now we can explicitly state that this is the situation that we want to when the resolution happens, we want this to happen. So React file reader input. Does that actually have an update? I'm imagining that it's going to be fine. So what we're gonna do is also try and override here. And we'll see. Oh my, okay, so same for React DOM. Okay, not a big deal. That's not entirely unexpected. And I think what we were doing before is we were manually adjusting the lock file, which would work, but anytime we touched the lock file, it would recreate it and like break this setup. Okay, React test run renderer. I believe that should have an update. Where are we? React test renderer 18.2. Now, I believe that I want this to be the same version of React. I can look it up, but we're just gonna do it this way. We can do npm view, not version, it's versions. And that is gonna give us a list of all the versions. I'm gonna just take the latest of 17. 17.02. This was an issue too. I think we upgraded to version 17 of React before the ecosystem was starting to catch on right away. And that's a lot of what this situation was. There was, I would say, I'll say the pure dependencies were more often used, but there's theoretically value there. But then you run into the situation where like this library specifies it only works with React 15 and 16. It actually works with 17 and 18. But you don't know what it does until that's actually released. So when React released, anything that had it listed as a pure dependency had to go back and bump their versions, even if nothing changed. So any of these libraries that are like not seeing nearly as much attention as bigger React libraries, this is really the only way you could deal with it. Okay, so we got vulnerabilities, which is to be expected because a bunch of these are out of date. But we got it installed, so that's fine. So all of the Tauri stuff should be good to go, and I think we could then do cargo update. Yep. Looks like we got to do it from the src Tauri folder or directory because it needs that cargo.toml, which makes sense. Updating crates.io x. And I think that's going to give us everything that we need here. Well, that is running because I'm presuming that Rust Analyzer is going to end up rerunning again as well. Let's look at what we got set up. There is very little here. Very little. It is very much just a wrapper. So the question is, we could theoretically do a create app and see what outputs. That would be one method. And then do a diff between them. We could that's kind of cool. Okay, so bump the cargo lock. Did it touch these? Doesn't seem like it did. We have a bunch of like updating and removing. Is there like a no, it does say src cargo update. You can run cargo cargo upgrade. I think I would prefer that. Oh, there we go. There's Rust Analyzer running. I can definitely feel it when it starts running because I type and my typing is slow. I think cargo upgrade is actually going to update values here, which is what I do want. The update is, oh, I got a alpha. I wonder why I'm getting alphas. Interesting. I don't think I want to deal with alpha on this right now. It's probably fine. The way we're doing the integration, it is probably going to be not a big deal, but come on. The Rust Analyzer, I think, is making it choke. Oh my, just show me a version so I can update you. You can do it. Can I just like stop it for the moment? Yeah, see, like I can't even. I could do stop server. All right, well, it's gonna do some stuff. Fine. So what do I want to look at? Oh, so I could do when I want to see what's changed. I think there's potentially a few ways we can go about it. We could run a create app, like the CLI. That would give us a completely new project, and we could do a diff between them. And I think that is likely going to be a fast way to do a comparison. What you get out of there, though, is going to be very focused, and it's not necessarily going to be applicable to every situation, especially if you have deeper integrations. I think most of the integrations that people might do, though, are going to be like the stuff that's going to change is going to be on the Rust side of things. And if you have deeper integrations, it's going to be not necessarily Tauri related, maybe, but more so on the end of just general like Rust code. But I think the type system and the compiler is going to help us a lot there. So I don't know that that's a bad way to go. We can do a create app and basically do a diff and just see what's changed. The way that I think I'm gonna go, though, is that we can look at, so like we can look directly at the code and just see what it's producing. Where's the So in here, sneezy. Okay, so in the fragments, we've got the pieces of the template that get combined into the actual thing that gets produced when you run the code. I'm thinking just to go into here and grab the bits that we want. I think most of it is going to be in here. Oh, probably in base. So the percent stable mobile alpha are like templated code. So if we go in the stable, this is going to give us an idea of like what we want to have. I'm going to presume that we do want Tauri build. Okay. I'm going to straight up replace all this because I don't particularly care. And okay, we do have that in there. I don't know if I need that default. I'm going to take it out. I don't think we need it anymore. There is an updated edition, I believe. Yeah, 2021. We should be fine to upgrade to there because we're basically updating all of our Rust dependencies. And if the template is using this addition, all of our dependencies here should be perfectly fine with it. I think we're good there. Let's look at this. We don't have any Tauri commands. I don't think we didn't do that. Oh, that prevents additional console window. Okay. We want that. We have a main and a build. Is that still the situation here? We have a lib here. I don't think we need this anymore. I think we just need the main. We're going to, I'm going to straight up just copy this in here. Oop. Made the wrong window bigger. So it looks like we had this in there already. Config attribute. Not. So it's a little bit less complex than I think we had in there before. We don't need a Tauri command, so I'm going to just take that out. As far as the builder, good to go. Nothing has really changed. So in this case, I expected this upgrade to be a little bit more involved, but honestly, not much has changed. For the case of like very simple wrapper integrations. The other thing we can take a look at is the config, and this might have actually changed a little bit. I'm gonna make this window a little bit bigger, and let's open up these configs side by side. Project name is still there. I don't remember the. I think we can set the version separately. I think I still want to keep that separate. Dister. There's a before and with global Tauri. I don't remember what that does. I don't think we need any before commands. And then we're into the bundle stuff. I doubt that we're gonna need a bunch of this. All targets, identifier. It is at that URL. I think that's a reasonable identifier. Where are we? Right here. So all of this is fine so far. I'll just take out the. Well, we'll leave that in there. Developer tool. Interesting. That's definitely handy. I believe this is all coming from the VS Code extension. We'll see if I can even find it in my massive list of extensions here. This one right here. So I think what we actually want here is finance. It's not really a developer tool. When I have resources or external bin, I'm going to straight up remove those. Description is going to leave those in there because I would like to fill those out. I don't think I need anything specific for my bundle. targets all. I'm gonna straight up remove these because I think I'm perfectly comfortable with whatever defaults we have set at this point. Updater. I do need to come back around and see how that updater works with this project integration, but we will deal with that at a later point. Allow list all. I'm not entirely sure what this is doing off the top of my head. But I'm presuming that I don't want shell features. I'm assuming that's going to be the way that I want to go here. So width and height, we are setting sort of defined amount. Resizable. I think I'm gonna try off transparent. I don't actually care about transparency, and that then means that it's gonna cause less issues on Mac because that's a private API. Which if you have this extension installed, it tells us. Decorations would be, did I close that already? Decorations would be, this does not have decorations right now. So there's no like file menu or anything here. Specifically, yeah, the borders and the bars. I think there's another API though to do file drops enabled. That's probably worthwhile, but we're just leave that off for right now for simplicity. I think I'm gonna set center to true. Unrelated to what we were looking up though. Focus, max min, skip taskbar. Maybe it is the decorations. So what I'm thinking about is, let's go ahead and go to the playground. I'm pretty sure I've updated that. Where's the search? I thought there was a search. Repositories. Playground. Now, which one would he have done it in? Actually, we might not want to go to the playground. We might want to go to this other little app that we did on stream. This is very much about windowing. And if we look at the Tauri configuration here, we have decorations false and transparency true as a default. This does have Windows and Mac. Interesting. I'm fine with the defaults right now. But specifically, we have a separate Mac piece which opts into private APIs so that we can do transparent. Hidden title and title bars style. That's sort of the differentiation there. I think I'm just gonna leave it with sort of these defaults right now, though. That should be perfectly fine. And I think that's about it to do with our actual upgrade. Let's go ahead and do do we have a Tauri yet? Tauri dev. And this should updater pub key configuration is required. Okay. I'm not sure what that actually is. So what I'm gonna do right now is just say false. Maybe that won't throw an error then. And I can deal with that later. Fingers crossed. I think I started working on, I was using this as a test bed to test the updater when we were first integrating it. And I don't know if I actually got it all the way through to the end where it worked. Waiting for your front-end dev server to start. So that's definitely what we definitely don't want that situation to happen. We want this, and our before dev command is going to be these are all coming from the fragments. We don't have a parcel anymore, but if we go into something like React, I don't remember where the replacements happen. Lib. I think if we do I think if we do something like this where we are, do I want serve lazy or do I want to do a watch? I guess I'm gonna try watch. I don't remember which does which. And I'm presuming that I'm also going to want I think I do the build separate. I'm just gonna leave that out for right now, and we're just gonna put it in the dev command. And this should run parcel watch. I don't know if it's going to run it from the root. I'm presuming it's going to run it from the root. Building index.html. So I think that's working fine. Now we've got two processes going, and they are sort of interleaving. The building index.html is parcel. The compiling is Rust. So we have two processes running. And they're sort of fighting for the terminal, which is why we're seeing this linky output down in the bottom. And the idea behind these, and we got our Rust analyzer rolling too. Oof. The idea behind these commands here is that we're pointing to a dist or a server. So when we run Tauri locally, we want a window to show up. Well, we don't necessarily need packaged assets. We can point to that web view at a local server. And that means that we sort of, as a side effect, get any of the like hot reloading or anything that's built into the dev servers. Getting errors. But when we go to build and publish this app, we don't want to run, no, we don't want to have a local host that anything can connect to. We want to sort of have this like separation. And that means that we need to package up these assets, in which case, when we build the thing and publish it, we want to be using the dist directory in this case, because that's where these built assets go. So it's taking, where we would run like a parcel build, and those assets, those like front end HTML, JSS, CSS assets, they all get included in the within the binary effectively. Okay, so we have a build that would be parcel, and that's much longer than I would have expected, but we've got lots of things running. Couldn't read src build rs. So not sure why this is not formatting. That is definitely odd. Oh, you know what? I wonder if we look at the base and src, we're invoking builder default. No, that is definitely what it is. Run Tauri generate context. So that seems fine. I thought it was something with this. I thought perhaps we were using an old API or something there. Maybe we do need a lib. I think is primarily for mobile. You can see here, mobile entry point. I don't think we actually need a build anymore. Oh, there's a build rs in the root. We might actually need that. So it might have just moved. Build.rs. Okay. We'll let Rust Analyzer catch up, I guess. It's still going. Now, is there... I think we pretty much covered everything. All the other bits, like Rust format, this is going to be specific to this integration. It's not going to matter too much. I don't think our... Actually, I'm curious, did our get ignore change at all? Just target. I think Wix tools is... I think that situation has changed. And I don't think we really have anything else there. Those all seem pretty standard. I don't think there's anything special about the get ignores that we need to worry about. There, it might be. I don't remember what we're using now. We were using Wix. I think we are still, but maybe that's changed, and I'm just not remembering. Okay, Rust Analyzer is still going. Oh, that's close. Server is not running. What? Alright, I am actually going to do a reload workspace. Wow. This doesn't really matter, but... And there's... I could do the command or whatever to reload. That just felt easiest at the time. Whoop. Wrong button. There is... If you go into the command palette, we can do restart language server. You can see I've got a handful of them in here. But we can also do
reload window and reload workspace for Rust Analyzer. So those are all like options for ways we can deal with this. Okay, so cargo check is running. Just go ahead and give that a go. We'll run all the things. Not getting any frame drops though, which is good. This is just gonna all run slow until everything finishes compiling. So as far as integrations go, we could do something with, which doesn't feel like something that's worthwhile to have a big system tray integration. There's potentially things we could do with like the file menu. And I think the file system is likely where we're going to see most of our value. Having multiple windows, maybe. There may be some plugins that are worth bringing in, but I can't think of anything offhand. Should go to the awesome repo. Yeah, stuff is still running. Overview. Let's see. Templates, plugins, like this kind of stuff. Those might be things that we want to bring in, where we can save the data somewhere in a reasonably safe manner and like have that saving file system process happen a little bit more automatically. Wow, we got a lot of apps on there now. Wow. Yeah, impressed. I think that's probably where we're gonna I think that's where we're going to see the value is the store, or keeping track of that data. Right, let's see. Couldn't read src build rs. So why are we expecting it to be? Base. So we've got another root there. Oh, you know what? Is that something that's changed in here? Yeah. So if we look at our base cargo, they don't even have it specified, which is actually, I think, my preference. There's a bunch of this that I do need to fill out. Name. Here, we're gonna just fill that in right now. Yeah. Not quite sure why Rust Analyzer is. Oh, looks like it's having the same issues as this. Failed to get project out directory. Target app not found. There is the default run. I don't think we need that anymore because I think it was actually pointing to the app, and that's where that default run was coming in. Let's just double check everything else. Name, repository, version, edition. Yeah, that looks good. So there's a bunch of other options that we can specify here, and a lot of that comes back around to options within cargo. And like many systems, there's a whole host of options that we can specify, and many will have defaults, or I guess theoretically all of them could have defaults. But a few of them, like the name, is likely going to be required but not have a default. Okay, so now this is new. Interesting. Upgrade required. I have not seen that before. So the server responded with a status of 426, upgrade required. It does seem to be built, and we do seem to be getting everything there. This looks to be on all of the latest. Let's do a cargo update. I think I'm okay with this. Having to actually specify the exact numbers. I'm not sure what it's expecting us to upgrade here, though. There. It's possible I worked some of my toolchain or something. Upgrade required. Well, we are looking. At the very least, I can do a rust up update. I don't think it's the version of Rust. But let's give it a shot real quick. It does look like that is returning from a call out to the backend. So entirely possible, but I'm not sure. CLI and API latest. Okay, so you can do cargo updated and it'll just give you the numbers, and then you manually do the update. Ah. This, it says it supposedly does it automatically. Which we did, but we might also need to do the cargo update. We did it though. I guess we'll let this run and we'll try the cargo update again. Hey John, good to see you. You were watching the Surreal DB live stream. That sounds vaguely familiar. Let's go ahead and run that well. To the Googles. It's a Rust DB. Interesting. Okay, now we gotta compile everything again because Rust updates. It's fine. Seems kind of nifty. Looks like it's get a bunch of options on how you can grab data. All this, I guess I say standard, but like any of the new database things lately have really been pushing this kind of stuff, which is nice. And distributed seems to really be a big thing too. Cool. Is it using querying? It's using Surreal QL, similar but modified version of traditional SQL. Cool. Oh, that's nice. Got a bunch of the auth stuff built in. Cool. Is this a new release? Did they? What was the live stream? Just a dev live stream, or was there an announcement? I always love the related stuff. Okay, almost there. Hopefully this works. I'm not quite sure what else would be throwing that error. Guess it's a new release and a weekly update. Cool. Yeah, the database space is definitely becoming very interesting. It's nice to see the options, both in a way where it's a system that you can run yourself and reasonably scale, but also the hosted stuff, because there's all types of projects and they don't all need, these like bespoke database setup, ultimate scaling situation. Sometimes it's nice just to hit it like an API. Like if your database feels basically just like an API, there's projects that really benefit from that, and not getting caught up in all of that setup and integration and having that scalability built in, super helpful. And then when it actually becomes an issue as far as cost or whatnot, then it's a real big deal. The Tauri app uses Surreal DB. Why? Upgrade required. Which Tauri app? Okay, so this is odd. I don't think this is coming from is this actually coming from this? Yeah, this is a parcel thing. Oh, I was hoping not to have to deal with that, but okay. It didn't show the prior post. Awesome app on GitHub. Oh. Did I... Here. You mean this? Or are we over here? Gonna have to help me out a little bit. Okay, so this error is actually coming from Parcel directly. So trying to keep this scoped to a small set of changes, but as this sometimes go, let's give Parcel an upgrade. There's not a very deep integration here, I don't believe. And I'm already on version 2. I don't think it's gonna cause us too much problems. Famous last words. We'll give it a shot though. NPMI. So it's is this some? Are you saying that this is something you can use in a Tauri app and have like the database be hosted locally? Because that would be kind of nifty. All right, let's give this another shot. Rust, awesome app, awesome app. Is that here? Rust, awesome. Or are we talking about different awesome? Oh, okay, it's still reloading. Oh man. Auto installing polyfill for process. Oof, okay, alright. Different awesome. So many awesomes. Are we talking about this? That they have a Tauri integration? Oh yeah. Well, not chat filter, but just YouTube doing its thing. Is it up there? No, it's not. So this is definitely filtering it out too. I think that's actually happening at the YouTube level. You could try posting it without like HTTP and stuff. I'm assuming when you say Rust awesome app / awesome app, this is going to be GitHub. So if we do github.com/this, what are you doing? Where did you get those characters from? Eh? This looks like a thing. Doesn't look like a Tauri app though. Oh. Rust CLI to create awesome applications with Rust. I am like I feel like I'm completely missing context here. So this is I see Tauri stuff in here. Okay. Then click the template. Got it. So what this it's a way to create a boilerplate, or is it actually like a wrapper around it? I mean, this is effectively okay. Use this SurrealDB. So this is sort of like a boilerplate. Ah, here we go. To enable all SurrealDB. Okay. SRC UI. I actually don't mind that. If you look at this, no. I'm guessing the Tauri data. Interesting. Seed store for dev. So I'm guessing much of this is the actual like database setup. If you look at model, seed for dev. Model store, Surreal store. Yeah. So this is where we're starting to get into, hey, this is actually Surreal. Yeah, boilerplate. Okay. So is it actually like a boilerplate generation, or does it continue to stick around as like a wrapper around stuff? Because some of this test store, seed store stuff would be kind of nice to keep as like not having to maintain it. Okay. So it automatically installs some stuff. Okay, so don't need auto prefixer anymore. Remove the above plugins from .css. I guess it installed process for me. All right, well, let's see. Parcel bundler default expression evaluated to false value. Okay, are we gonna have to deal with parcel updates? I guess I don't need this in there now, is what it's saying. Maybe we take that out and rerun it and see what it does. This might just be something we can get rid of. You don't like the CLI for running awesome app, just push to default to Tauri's commands. Ah, okay. So it sounds like it's kind of a boilerplate templating thing plus a little bit of a wrapper. Alright, are we still... Well, it's not complaining about the one thing anymore, but whatever this is. Parcel bundler default. Oof. Let's look at the parcel docs quick. Mm-hmm. Package scripts, browser list, parcel and parcel build. What are my scripts? Parcel watch. So start is just parcel. I think I'm gonna leave that. What does that say about CSS? I presume it's got to be something with this. Default config. There's somewhere in here that I think it's gonna give us a like breakdown of this. Okay, so parcel watch, entries, parameters. Lazy mode. Where are the defaults? Default plugins. Default presets. I'm honestly kind of tempted to say I might not need this anymore, and I'm presuming that they probably made the situation much better. Do I have a Tailwind config here? Do they have any mention of Tailwind in this? Don't see anything. We are going to give it a shot and just straight up to remove parcel RC. The watch command picked it up right away. Do I have a Babel config? I do. I think I'm gonna delete that too. Yeah, let's get rid of that config there and cross our fingers basically. We were on parcel 2.0 and I came from like alpha beta versions, I believe. So it is entirely possible that there's cruft sort of hanging around there. I also do have a parcel cache. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna delete the parcel cache. Yeah, we're still having errors. Let's delete the parcel cache. We're going to delete the dist directory. I don't know if I need to change anything post CSS. I'm assuming Tailwind has had some updates as well, so it's entirely possible that I don't need that anymore either. And I guess while that is doing its thing, I can take a look at Tailwind, CSS, docs. I believe they have mention of use with framework guides. Use with parcel. Okay, so configure post CSS. Template paths. So we might be fine. I think that's basically what I have set up right now. Expression evaluated to a false value. So we have it pointing at this very much could be a situation where I am saying parcel watch. What is that command? When we do parcel watch, it may be running from a directory other than the root, in which case it's not finding some of the stuff that it needs to. So when it starts up, it's potentially running at a different place other than the root. And the node module resolution, there's something going wrong with that, and we're just getting a bad. I mean, it still seems like we're getting that error. But let's just try running it separately. See if I can get a good run of just parcel. So that should be doing src index.html. And if we look at a web app, yarn parcel source index.html. I'm assuming watch is the same thing as watch command is similar to serve, but does not start a dev server. Okay, let's look at the difference. The serve starts a dev server, which will automatically rebuild your app as you change files and supports hot reloading. Okay, so serve is the default command. Watch is similar, but does not start a dev server. Use watch if you're building a library, a backend, or have your own dev server. Okay, so I actually do want serve. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take out the watch. And we're gonna stop. Still building. I'm gonna change this to start. Now I might consider taking the lazy off. I've definitely had issues with that in the past. That did build though. Lazy. Do I take that off? So what lazy does is it doesn't build everything. it'll just build the pieces that it needs when you visit it. So we're still getting this issue. Would have thunk I would have more issues with parcel. I think we got the NPM upgrade done, or the Tauri app integration upgraded, and I think we're strictly on parcel at this point. I don't think any of this is gonna matter. Let's do NPM outdated. See if there's any other parcel things that we might want to bump. So we got a bunch of babble. If I take out the babble things, I don't necessarily want those if we don't need them. It sounds like we might not need auto prefixer anymore. I think we might want everything else though. The way parcel works is when you start opting into things, it will just install them for you, which is both a good thing and a bad thing, I guess. Let's just try it and install. We'll try build. Sometimes build can, if you're running into issues with building, or if you're running into issues in the dev setup for parcel or Vite or any of these other ones, I've found that if the error in the dev mode is not helpful, running a build can potentially produce a different result, which gives you more information to work off of. And it seems that unfortunately that is not the case. Didn't seem like it actually installed anything else for us. Let's clear the parcel cache. Let's clear. I'm gonna leave the target there because I think Tauri is fine. And then we're gonna do. Let's just do a full reinstall. And let's double check while that is running. I'm not sure. I mean, Windows file operation stuff is not the quickest. It definitely does not happen terribly fast though. Oop. Yeah, I see like it's trash just like chucks it in the background. So it might stick around until we do like if we reload, it might release the lock. We'll get like file locks and no, rust handlers is just gonna run. Building proc macros. I'm surprised it didn't no op on a lot of this. But like, I mean, we clearly have like Babel and stuff still here. And node modules is still clearly here. I'm gonna close. I'm gonna just straight up reopen it. I'm gonna try to do this as well. Trash drops it into the recycle bin within Windows, which, as I understand, is like async-ish, and helps to work around like lock files, which VS Code seems to do. But if you close VS Code and run it without, if you run it with the expectation of not pitch it into the recycle bin, but rather just like a hard delete, seems to work better. Okay, so we got a Rust Analyzer running. Let's do a full npm install, and while that is going, let's double check our integration here. So it's saying all we need to do is parcel, and we call parcel serve. I'm presuming that the expectation is that it's going to manage everything else, and like I'm okay with it adding dependencies as needed. And I don't think we were on parcel 2, so like this is definitely not something we need to look at here. Yeah, and so like we don't actually need a Babel RC anymore. Do we have a browser list? Yeah. Honestly, I'm fine with this. No. I'm actually gonna do bigger than 5% because I don't really. I think that should be fine. That would be, if you look at the browser list, browsers that are in use of greater than 5% is what it'll target in the compilation. This reify step with date functions is definitely not the fastest. Okay. Let's try jumping straight to build. We'll see what happens. There's really not that much more going on. I could very much just try to delete some of these pieces and see what turns up. But I don't see anything else that seems like it's a dependency. I believe it's all going to put everything in dev dependencies. So that shouldn't be an issue. This is a package that I maintain, which helps with publishing packages. So I'm just going to bump that right away. Ooh. Okay. We're going to drop this in the issues. In the issue search. And hopefully this turns up something. This. Do I like Parcel? I did in the past, and I want to like it, but I've run into like random weird bugs with the cache and like situations like this where I want to support the project. I appreciate what they're trying to do, but I don't think they get nearly the amount of time that the other build systems do to spend on it. And I feel like a lot of this kind of stuff is edge cases and time and attention. There are a few things from Parcel that are starting to be adopted more ecosystem-wide, like the, I believe, so Lightning CSS is like a whole separate thing. And also like, you know, Rust. But they've developed it as a standalone library. And this is, I don't remember if it's used anywhere else yet. I do kind of want to play around with and try this, but I mean, it's not that much faster than ES build. But I think I would prefer to use these separate pieces. And oh, the Watcher. I didn't realize this was written in C++. I thought this was also Rust. But the Watcher is native C++, which intentionally is built with cross-platform in mind. It seems to work really well, and this is starting to get pulled into other projects too. So even if you're not using Parcel, you might be using pieces of Parcel that have sort of been split out. And I appreciate that they've kind of gone that direction with it, because I think they do have features and things that are beneficial. But I think they just are not able to spend as much time on it as it feels like it might need. So then, like, some of these bugs, they come up and they get fixed, well, you know, within reasonable open source time. But like, you are very dependent on this thing and having this thing work, and there's just so many integrations and things to get working. This is handling a lot more than some of the other build systems. So I do use Vite on a couple other projects, in part because the overlay that uses Vite, I used to use Parcel and I switched to Vite because I was interested a little bit more in the stability that Vite seems to have, especially at the current time. So, yes. But also, I wish I could like it more. It's more of a hopeful yes than a based on my actual actions. Yes. So, I don't think this is specifically, in my case, an issue with CSS. But I don't know what else would it be with if I don't have any other like what would be controlling it. I mean, it might be something with my CSS setup or something. Okay, so this, here we go, Tailwind CSS, post CSS and auto prefixer. Now, what do we got? We've got a post CSS, plugins, Tailwind CSS. That looks fine. And we've got this, plugins. So my content should be for this specific situation, or their example. I wonder if it's something with how it's merging it. So this is doing HTML and JS. I could probably just do the same. Oh, you know what? Do this. Yeah. We're just gonna tack this to the front of the list. I wonder if it has something to do with this. And that coming back around to, like, I think part of what There was a big interest in using ES build, and ES build was fast, but also it was doing less than some of these other build systems did. One of which was like CSS and type checking. So it literally said do type checking separate, which I don't disagree with. But I think, especially when things were first coming out, people were doing comparisons between all of these, and they were saying, well, ES build is the fastest. Fast, yes. It's also doing a lot less work, so you need to have 2 or 3 or 4 things all building and running. And then once you start figuring that in, that situation is not so straightforward. This example uses Tailwind's JIT mode. That's fine. And that's fine. I think that should all be good to go. Oh, I've got a purge. That's now content. Theme variants plugins. Okay, let's give that a go. So Parcel is doing both the CSS and the JS. And especially with like lazy mode enabled, it works pretty well. And considering it's handling all these things, and I definitely do want to play around with Lightning CSS, because I think Lightning CSS with Parcel is very interesting. Continue to say that and continue to get stuck on this. What would bundler default? It is definitely just a bundler default. I really don't have any other config here though. Yeah, okay. Clearing cache might fix it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is saying it's an issue with it being alpha, but unless I have things sticking around here, I can do like an npm update, and that'll update some of my transitive dependencies. It's very much could be that I've got some old like transitive dependencies floating around. Oh my. It seems like there's many different situations where this could come up, which is unfortunate. I think we'll end up getting this going, ideally, hopefully. And then this is probably where we're going to end up calling it. I don't have this in here, and I don't know how sensitive it is to having it in here. So we have a bunch of these, like, there's actually an error there, and it's just not throwing a great message. It doesn't seem like it's specifically cache related. Otherwise, I would deleting it, I would expect to resolve it, and it doesn't seem to have. Source keywords. Is there anything else in here that might be tripping it up? Okay. Let's do an npm. Is it upgrade? It's npm h. There's a command that like updates all the transitive dependencies. And I can never remember if it's update or upgrade. It looks like it's update, npm update. It doesn't seem like it's happy with my version of Node also. Update dash save, okay. I'm gonna just upgrade to Node 18. I don't think that is an issue, but I mean honestly at this point. Oh. I just want the transitive dependencies. This might actually be a little bit too heavy-handed. We'll let it run though, and we'll see. I was hoping not to update literally everything because like some of these React things are very sensitive to being tied to the right versions and you know, rabbit holes. That YNAB. I mean, we could probably just upgrade that too. That would be. It respects December. Okay. Previous versions of npm were less respectful. um, so I very much got in the. Okay, it seems like it's not doing too much. I very much so like it updated these. I very much got in the habit of being a little bit more standoffish from the commands and just manually modifying it myself. All right, let's try build. What else? I mean, this seems like I'm gonna start looking at the actual like transitive dependencies if this doesn't work. And I've definitely done that much more with Yarn because these client code has tended to use that. What is killed it? It said something about purge CSS. All right, let's see. There's a yarn list. Does npm have that too? Yarn or npm query, right? Is that it? Retrieve a filtered list of packages. Query selector. I don't know if I need to pass. Tag is not a selector. Oof. Is it just list? There's a way to do a pattern with yarn. Oh, ls. Parsable global depth. Omit. Doesn't look like a package spec. Well, let's try it. Okay. I might need to put it on the other end. It's empty. So like what I want to do is um, something like that. That was a really nice command. I thought we could do it with npm now. I vaguely recall it being query, where you can do like pattern matching. Because I want to do, the problem is we've got parcel, but then we've got all the namespace parcel things as well. Um, what? Parcel cache is not a supported dependency type? Retrieve a filtered list of packages. So that opens up this, and it opened up in a different browser for me. So grabbing this over. Okay, so we need. Oh my. This is actually querying. This is querying the registry directly, I think. Query node modules? Do they really not have it built into npm yet? That was so nice. That was just so nice. Diff dist doctor edit. I mean, we can do the npm y. That's still not going to give us what we want. Pack ping package prefix profile prune publish query rebuild. Search, I think search is the actual registry as well. Search for packages. Yeah, really can't help me out. I kind of figured it was searching for packages. What else would you search for? Uh, hmm. Okay. Well, try npm list parcel. I think it was just the it was just parcel. Yeah. We can't do this, can we? Can't remember if I tried that or not. No. Yeah, empty. Come on. All right. I mean, we could try this. Let's see. Um, it looks like all the parcel stuff should be on the same version. So if we do node modules slash parcel, December, parcel diagnostic. I mean, it seems like everything's on the right version of things. There's a lot of them though. Holy cow. Okay. So that doesn't seem to be the issue. I'm going to delete the cache again. We'll rerun it. NPM list is supposed to do it? Okay. I thought there was something that could do it. Maybe it's, is it like a starts with if I do add parcel? Oh, here. Yeah, tailwind is not purging. I mean, that's fine. I don't really care if it's purging or not right now. Ugh, this is just, okay, so parcel core. npm list at parcel. What if we try that? Is it going to be empty? Invalid tag name. The why or explain doesn't work with it right now. Yeah. Okay, let's look at parcel core. No dependencies found matching parcel core. Now that is curious. npm view parcel. What is its dependencies? It has a dependency on 2.8. So why do I not have core? Is that one of those things that in the upgrade that feels weird that I wouldn't install it? Hmm. The error is coming from parcel core, but it's saying it can't find dependencies. They didn't change the command. It still does transitive dependencies, right? I mean, it's coming from, oh, parcel graph. Wait, what? I thought it was parcel core. Has it been parcel graph the whole time? Yeah, this is parcel core. Bundle graph. Parcel graph. Parcel bundler default. At parcel bundler default. Music stopped. I was like, wow, what's different? Do a little bit of this. I'd like to get this working before we call it, but we might end up being hard stuck on this. Of course, the thing that I was expecting to not have to deal with is the thing that ends up being the pain. What? Let's just delete it and give it a go again. I'm about ready to just delete the whole lock file and try it again. Just blitz all my. I mean, it's not a package. It's been around a while, so like, you know, this app has been around a while, so there could be some like cruft hanging around in here, but like it's. Why are you saying it's not there? I definitely see it. I see it right there. So let's say npm CLI. What? Did they change things? And it doesn't do transitive dependencies anymore, or? As well as the dependencies when -- all is specified. Okay. We could. Positional arguments are nested. Packages will also show up. Okay, let's try core. So this is still just giving this one, but it's saying if we do -- all, it's going to give us dependencies. I mean, as well as the dependencies when -- all is specified in a tree structure. Running npm ls. Npm ls. If I just do all, I mean, it's definitely doing things now. Parcel actually lists. Here we go. That is so wild. All right. We got a lot of parcel things now. Have to do the -- all in front. That is what? Why is it doing that? Global depth default infinity if -- all is set otherwise 1. Okay, so if I would do this, I would expect it to show all the dependencies. So it's just not doing a depth. Depth is 3. That is weird. Okay, npm ls all pipe. That wasn't great. Yeah, let's try React. That should give us a whole bunch of stuff. I can't tell if yeah, I mean, the heck is parcel doing then? npm remove parcel. Straight up take it out. Take out all of the things that come with it. Did I have puny code in here before? That's definitely new, right? Yep. Process puny code query string ES3. We'll just take out tailwind as well. Tailwind. Testing library stuff should be fine. We'll take out post CSS. And we'll add in just tailwind and parcel. Okay, so now if we do npm add -s save dev parcel tailwind CSS. Hey, did not take it out? It's still there. Oh, I just said tailwind. npm remove tailwind CSS. I also need to do post CSS though. So npm add -- save dev post CSS tailwind CSS and parcel. While I was doing that, I'm going to delete the cache. And then let's try it npm ls parcel, and we'll see if anything has changed there. That is very curious. Different though, different. That could be something that's actually an error. And what would be the question? I don't have any of that in my tailwind config. This shouldn't matter for build, but I'm going to just take out the lazy. Now that we've run a build, did it add any? It didn't add anything else. That could be because it's only adding them for dev mode. I don't see anything. Process tailwinds features. Set up context utils. Tailwind CSS forms. Let's take a peek at that. What version of this is there? 5.3. Let's just pump this. I'm presuming if I bump version, or if I bump this version of Tailwind, the forms would make sense to bump too. And I mean, this very much might end up breaking things, but we've got some tests in place, so that's what they're for. Hopefully it lets us know if we broke things. Okay, auto installing polyfill for query string, auto installing polyfill for Unicode. And back to the issue. So I do see that it says auto installing polyfill for node built-in module. I want to confirm that it is actually doing it as a web app. So we're setting a source as HTML here, right? Source src index HTML. We are setting a browser list. That's fine. We can have multiple sources. We can have multiple targets. I'm going to take out the engines. I don't really care if it's failing. I want to make sure that it's not trying to accidentally do node things. I'm going to go ahead and take these out again, just in case. Do an install, and then I'll rerun that again. I want to make sure that it's not trying to build things expecting to have a targeted node. Because we specifically want it to build as a web app. Yeah, so it very well, the engine's browser. So it overrides the engines defined in the top level, engines and browser list. So it really does seem like it wants Unicode. There's a tree. There's a tree. I'm not sure why it's not going any further down though. Depth 4. It seems like it's all in the right version. So that's good, right? I'd expect that it's since we're defining it as an HTML, that we don't need to do too much more with the targets. Like we're setting the source to HTML. So I think that should be sufficient. Greater than. I mean, I probably don't need to say not. I love it anymore. I doubt this is actually going to do anything, but we could potentially take the browser list out. Wow, this is okay. That is so weird. Hmm. Is it something to do with how we're doing our CSS? Because we got an app module CSS here. Let's just skip the CSS for right now. Come over here. If we can narrow it down to where the issue is coming from, this is going to help a lot. Because this is not helpful. So it's walking the graph. What do we have in our index.html? Let's make sure there's nothing there that... So this is app.module CSS. We could try taking that out. So we got a index.js as a module. Oh. So if I import it here, I don't know if it's actually going to need it. Looks like it does. It looks like that might not actually do anything. So why is it not liking an import of this? Is it because of the directives or something in there? Or it's not directives. What's the at stuff? Too much GraphQL, I guess. So we can do those. These are the options. We can check this. So it uses post CSS, JIT mode. I don't feel like this is actually up to date because they've got like their own built-in dealio now. So we can do. Is it because I've specifically called it module? And then they added there. So if I just call it app CSS, we're not going to include it here, and we're just going to include it here. Oh, ooh. That's fun. Yeah, where's our local host here? Yes. Oh, that was painful. But it seems like we got our CO. Seems like we got some CSS potentially. Things are not happy. Invalid DOM property class. Did you mean class name? Key. Find class equals. Is that really what it's complaining about? Bicycle chart, I guess. I don't know if that's the thing that's actually thrown the error though. React is not active class name prop in the DOM element. Okay. If you intentionally wanted to appear in the DOM, use that. Okay. So active. Last name. So I'm setting that on navlink. It must be just like spreading the props down to stuff. Oh. Is that coming from, React Router DOM? I don't know if that's the thing actually causing the issues or not. Okay, so it looks like there might be an issue with the... Oh, I was on planning before. Okay, cash flow. Okay, this seems to mostly be working. Some of the like transitions and such are broken. If I open up the original. So there's going to be a bunch of... This is one of those things that's like turned into a whole bunch of other things to deal with. My little line is not actually moving in this one either, so I didn't break it specifically here. My transitions are working here, but not elsewhere. Okay, so I've got some prop type errors. And then this is probably not a big deal. This, however, is not working. So when we click, we're calling it navigate. Use navigate from React Router DOM. Okay. What version of React Router are we on? 6. What version are they on? 6. So is there a navigate? Use navigate. Navigate to that. I don't know. I guess I'm not too worried about it. It looks like we've got at least some of the upgrade working. There's going to be little pieces I think that we're going to have to like fix. But we're at that point where we can say npm run Tauri dev, and I think we should get it to show up in there at least. So I would say original objective complete. Tauri upgrade went fine. The issues that we actually ran into were with parcel and the CSS, I guess. So that all seems to be working fine. There is definitely things airing out though, because like I don't have, well, I guess I did move things around. So that might actually be realistic now. Because I think I did, yeah, I did split this out into a separate planning page. Yeah, I'm starting to remember now. So the idea is that here on this page, this is where you set up all your repeating stuff. Put your transactions all in order with the expected ins and outs. And then the cash flow page is more just for understanding how it all kind of comes together. Okay. I think we're mostly working, and that just seems to be a random error. That might be related to our upgrades, but we will figure it out. I think we can call this as successful as you can. We worked through some very interesting errors. What was the thing that really turned me on to looking at that though? See, this is not helpful at all, and it was really not pointing us in any good direction. That npm-ls, definitely curious. I think it's just doing something that we're not expecting, and I'm not a fan of the way that they're doing it. We ended up just searching for it though, and some of these errors, they're all over the place. But like, this kind of clued me in that I wondered if it was trying to use CSS modules instead of just like a purged CSS file. And I think in this case, a single CSS is probably fine, at least for right now, and then we can figure out stuff from there. But good to go. So, what should we do next time? I do want to do a couple like deep dives in sort of the Tauri internals and how pieces fit together. We can also do some Tauri mobile stuff again. Oh, Jonas and I have talked about doing another one of those. But that's definitely TBD. I don't know. If y'all have if y'all have thoughts or ideas, suggestions, feel free to leave a comment below. I try to, at least in a reasonably timely manner, respond to all of the comments. And if you have thoughts for topics or things that we want to look up on the stream, that's probably the easiest way to let me know. Otherwise, hit that subscribe button if you've gotten out of the end and you appreciate what we're doing here, and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of our stream next week and in all the following weeks. Pretty consistently been every Tuesday now we switched off of, we were doing Fridays before, but every Tuesday for a fair number of weeks now. We should keep it up. Otherwise, have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next time. Bye.